Alright then, I got about 10 minutes for this video, so lawyer Robo is gonna break it down for you. As many of you know, I am a survivor of domestic violence. I am a survivor of rape. I am a survivor of many things. You can take my word for it, because I'm not about to share my story with any of you unless it's relevant, which it's not. So, let's get on to Kavanaugh versus the good Dr. Ford, shall we? Dr. Ford, when she did her opening statement, she said out of her mouth, big Freudian slip here, kids, if you listen to it, even though Brett did not rape me, I'm going to let that sit with you for a while. Of course, there was more to that. And maybe that, a lot of people are going to say, well, that's taken out of context. No, that was called a Freudian slip. And her being a psychologist and a teacher of psychology should have known better. Basically, it's like this. We're going to break it down. I look at things different than a lot of people. I like to see evidence. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. I want to know the truth. I'm out for the truth, so let's find the truth. Her story is she was at a house party at a house in Maryland. She's not sure where. She don't know how she got there. She don't know how she got home. She don't really know anything, but she drank one beer, was raped, and there were between, what did she say? She said 5 people at first, then 4 guys in the bedroom, then 2 guys in the bedroom, so we're not really sure how many people were at that party. But we're pretty sure 3 people were at that party, and Justice Kavanaugh and her. Okay, from her side of the story. Now, people are like, well, why was she talking in baby talk, right?
Okay, when you hear a voice like this, it automatically makes you feel more paternal. Like I'm a little girl, protect me.
She's a psychologist. She knows this shit. And me, I'm an absolute maniac, so I know this shit too. Now, we're going to break down her story. She had 1 beer. And she fought against these people, her attackers. But she doesn't remember about anything of that night. She just remembers that the bed was to the right of the door. If you look at most rooms, your bed is to the right of doors, whether you have a master bedroom or not, because you've got to negotiate between closets, windows, and everything else.
50-50 chance.
Okay? That's not telling me nothing. How did she get there? She don't know. How did she get home? She don't know. All she remembers is the attempt to free herself and finally doing so. And people laughing at her. That's all she remembers. And the bed was to the right of the door and the bathroom was close by. Okay? That's what she remembers. Now, first she tells her doctor that there were 4 of them in the room. Then she says, oh no, my doctor was mistaken. There were only 2. Kavanaugh and this other guy. And the 3 other people that were supposed to be there all said it didn't happen. Now why would 3 people, your friends, say it didn't happen unless it didn't happen? I don't understand. Oh wait, that's right, because you could actually be charged with a federal felony for lying to the Senate. Oops. I guess, they didn't want to get involved in that. I don't blame them. Now let's look at Judge Kavanaugh. Okay. point out some things about him. Now, I believe God was involved in his life way before he even knew it. Because he said that my dad used to take detailed notes, like a journal, of where he was, what was going on, and I just picked up the habit. And so he had journals from way back then, written in his own hand, of where he was, who he was with, and all that. And no time was a mention of anyone like Dr. Ford anywhere in his journals. Okay, so let's go this way. Oh, but, he may have gotten drunk and passed out and he didn't remember. That's kind of odd, guys, because even if you get drunk and you black out, you remember. I hate to tell you this, but you do remember. Because I've gotten drunk and blacked out plenty of times, and I've remembered. It pops up in the back of your mind, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Doesn't matter if he got drunk. Doesn't matter if he slept in a damn bush. Fact of the matter is, his detailed evidence from way back then says he wasn't even in town. So, how the hell was he at that house party? He wasn't. Period. There's the evidence. The burden of proof here is not on Kavanaugh. He's the accused. The burden of proof is on the accuser, which would be Dr. Ford. And her lies not only begin in her opening statement, but all through her testimony. And then on top of that, when she said, I'm afraid to fly, I was just like, oh, that's something we share. I know about this shit. And then she said, I've flown on vacation and flew over here and flew over there and did all this and fly. She flies more than damn. Okay?
More than a damn bird going south for the winter.
Thank you. For real. More than a damn bird going south for the winter. Me, I got on one flight in my adult life after I had my fear of flying. And I was drunk as a skunk. You could not get me on that plane without me being inebriated beyond my control. Meaning I literally got on, passed out, and woke up. Okay? And when I got back on that plane, I was drunk again, and I was distraught to hell and back, and so emotionally overwhelmed that it didn't matter. You guys, you need to lose your hatred for each other. Lose your hatred for each other. Look at the evidence. Look at it. She lied once. She lied twice. In her opening statement, she made a Freudian slip. Her being a psychologist should have known better. Even though Brett did not rape me. So are we to believe that a man that has a detailed account of him being out of town at the time of that particular house party somehow popped up in the house, rubbed his hoo-hoo on her butt, laughed at her for getting raped, and then skipped back to wherever the hell he was? Come on, really? Ted Cruz already caught Feinstein in her lie. There was only 3 people that had that letter. Her lawyer, Feinstein, and Feinstein's aide. How did the Washington Post get that letter? How? It was to smear this man's reputation and his integrity. And whether or not he was an asshole when he was young or a drunk, he's been a good man all this time. And the evidence proves he's not guilty of this. And the other two, the other two allegations, I'm not even going to get into that because that's just ridiculous. I mean, honestly, if I was the judge, when all this was said and done, I'd turn around and go after them and have them arrested for false accusations, dragging him through the mud and doing everything that they've done to him. And I really would. And that's the breakdown of the evidence, kids. Watch the evidence. He's innocent.